Hi, and welcome to the beautiful Lincoln Park neighborhood in the Edgewater neighborhood of Chicago. Here, I'd like to give you a little bit of history about our wonderful city. First, I'm going to start with the Great Chicago Fire. First off, the summer of 1871 was hot, dry, not a lick of rain since the 4th of July of that year. Now, what happened next, October 9th, around 9 p.m., a fire started on the south side of the city, and it grew quickly due to the city being built of nothing but wood. Now, mind you, the dry conditions, insane, absolutely insane. So the fire grew so fast up toward the north side of the city, all the way up to the north branch of the Chicago River, where residents of the area fled across the river thinking that the river was going to keep them safe because it's what? Water. Now, the fire jumped the river because the river was so polluted at the time that they had nowhere else to go, so they ran. The residents of the city ran as far as they could. While the fire was blazing, it raged for a good 2 days. It didn't go out until the 10th of October. Around 300 people lost their lives as far as we know. 300,000 people lost their homes. This was a great wake-up call for the city of Chicago. Once the fire was out and the city started to realize that they could rebuild, they decided that we are going to do that. There was an architect, his last name was Janney. He decided, instead of building a wooden structure, why don't I build a structure with its weight bearing on the outside? And thus created the steel-framed skyscraper, making Chicago the inventor of the skyscraper, leading us to be in competition with all the major cities around the world, constantly, since to this day, competing for the tallest buildings in the world. Now, with that in mind, us with the great rebuild in the city, we knew that the World's Fair was coming up in 1893. The city's politicians decided to go hardcore for it and bid to host the event, which took place in Hyde Park, way south of here. The city won against cities like New York, which caused our politicians to go, oh, guess what? We won over the best city in the world. Now, the next thing that happened after that was the New York Times decided to poke some jabs at the city and our politicians, and they called us the Windy City. The reason why we got called the Windy City was because our politicians are full of hot air. So for an example of some of our steel sculpture buildings here in this wonderful neighborhood of Edgewater Beach, I want to point out this pink building right behind you. That is also a steel structure, also made out of concrete. It is completely supported from its outside bearings, not from the inside, like the old wooden structures of the day. Now, what's really cool about this building in this particular neighborhood is that it was originally built as a hotel, and the complex was built all the way down to Foster Avenue, which is about a half mile away from here. And it was built to cater the wealthy of the Midwest of the surrounding states to come here and vacation on the beautiful beaches of Chicago, which are behind you. Now, there are trees behind you, so you really can't see it much, but we can take a walk over there later if you'd like. But just to let you know, that is kind of how the city of Chicago made its name. We are in a Midwest state, we're in a flyover state, but you cannot miss Chicago. I hope you enjoyed your time with me, and I hope to see you guys again.